Hari Om. Welcome to this evening's Satsangh. We will commence with some preliminaries. If you are seated at your puja place, you may sprinkle water on yourself and all the puja items around you as well as on the Vedi. Om pavitraha pavitro va sarvavastangatopi va yah smaret pundari kaksham sabhahyabhyantraha shuchi. Sip water from the palm of your right hand 3 times, doing Hari Smaran, thinking of Bhagwan. Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayanaya Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha. Now rinse your hands. Om Hrishikeshaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha, Om Madhusudanaya Namaha. If you have a paiti or a kus ring, you may put that on the right hand ring finger of your hand. Om Pavitresto Vaisnavyo Saviturvaha Prasava Utpunamya Chidrena Pavitrena Suryasya Rashmibihi Tasyate Pavitrapate Pavitra Putasya Yat Kamaha Puneta Chekeyam. Using the thumb of your right hand, apply chandan to your forehead, starting at the top of your nose, moving upwards. Om Chandanam Vandyate Nityam Pavitram Papanashanam Apadam Harate Nityam Lakshmir Vasati Sarvadham. You may light your house lamp, your Lakshmi Deep, if you have not done so already. Om Bhodhipa Tvam Brahma Rupa Andakara Nivaraka Imam Maya Kritam Pujang Grihastejo Pravardhaya Om Deepaya Namaha. You may sprinkle a drop of water on the Vedi or on the earth in front of you. Om Prithvi Tvaya Drita Loka Devi Tvam Vishnuna Drita Tvancha Dharya Man Devi Pavitrang Kuru Chasanam. We are now ready to commence with the recitation of Veda mantras and other Dhyan mantras. If you are following, it will be put up on your screen. It is also available on page 25 of the Lakshmi Narayan Satsang Puja or Havan publication. If you are not following, you may put your hands together and meditate on Bhagwan while we recite these mantras. Om. Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Dhyana Moolam Gurur Murtihi, Puja Moolam Gurur Padam, Mantra Moolam Gurur Vakyam, Moksha Moolam Guru Kripam. Om Swastina Indro Vridashavaha Swastina Pukha Vishwavedaha Swastina Starakshorarishtanemi Swastino Brihaspatirdadatu. Om Payah Prithivyam Paya Oshadishu Payo Divyantarikshe Payodaha Payasvatihi Pradishah Santu Mahyam. Om Vishnoratamasi Vishnoho Snaptresto Vishnoho Syurasi Vishnor Dhruvasi Vaishnavamasi Vishnavetva. Om Agnir Devata Vato Devata Suryo Devata Chandrama Devata Vasavo Devata Rudra Devata Ditya Devata Marato Devata Vishwe Deva Devata Vrihaspatir Devatindro Devata Varno Devata ओम द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगुं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरौषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगुं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि। ओम विश्वानि देव सवितरदुरितानि परासुवा यद्भद्रं तन्न आसुवासु शान्तिर्भवतु। ओम आनो भद्रः क्रतवो यन्तु विश्वतो दग्धासो अपरीतास उद्भिदः देवानो यथा सदमिद्भिदे असन्नप्रायुभो रक्षितारो दिवे दिवे। ओम देवानां भद्रा सुमतिर्जूयतां देवानागं रातिरभिनो निवर्ततां देवानागं सख्यम् उपसेदिमा वयन् देवान आयुः प्रतिरन्तु जीवसे। ओम तान् पूर्वयानि विदाहो महे वयं भगं मित्रम् अदितिं दक्षमस्त्रिधम् अर्यमणं वरुणागं सोममश्विता सरस्वती नः सुभगामयस्करात्। ओम तन्नो वातो मयो भुवातो भेषजन्तन्माता पृथिवी तत्पिताद्यः तद्घ्रावानः सोमसुतो मयो भुवस्तदश्विना तन्दिष्ण्यायुवम्। ओम तमीशानं जगतस्तस्तु शस्पतीन्द्रियं जिन्वामवसेहुमहे वयं पूषानो यथा वेद साम सद्विदे रक्षिता पायुर्दप्तः स्वस्तये। ओम स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्योररिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु। ओम वृषदश्वा मरुतः कृष्णीमातरः शुभं यावानो विदतेषु जग्मयः अग्निजिह्वा मनवः सूरचक्षसो विश्वेनो देवा अवसागमन्यः। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रं पश्येमाक्षेर्यभिः। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्ट्वागं संस्तनूभिर्व्यशेमहि देवहितं यदायुः। ओम शतमिन्नो शरदो अन्ति देवा यत्र नश्चक्रजरसन्तनूनां पुत्रासो यत्र पितरो भवन्ति मानो मध्याहि त्रिषुतायुर्गन्तोः। ओम अदितिर्द्यौरदितिरन्तरिक्षम् अदितिर्माता स पिता स पुत्रः विश्वे देवा अदितिः पंचजना अदितिर्जातम् अदितिर्जनित्वम्। ओम ऋचं वाचं प्रपद्ये मनो यजुः प्रपद्ये साम प्राणं प्रपद्ये चक्षुः श्रोत्रं प्रपद्ये वागौजः सहोजो मही प्राणापानौ। ओम तं पत्नीभिरनुगच्छेम देवाः पुत्रैर्भ्रातृभिरुतवा हिरण्यैः नाकं गृह्णानः सुकृतस्य लोके तृतीये पृष्ठे अधिरोचने दिवः। ओम आयुष्यं वर्चस्य गुं रायस्पोषमोद्भिदम् इदगुं हिरण्यं वर्चस्व जैत्राया विशताद्माम्। ओम द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगुं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरौषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगुं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि। ओम यतो यतः समीहसे तथो नो अभयं कुरु शन्नः कुरु प्रचाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः सुशान्तिर्भवतु। ओम हे रंब तुमे ये ही अंबिका त्रयंबकात्मज सिद्धि बुद्धि पते त्रयक्ष लक्ष लाभ पितु पितः नागास्य नागहार त्वं गणराज चतुर्भुज भूषितः स्वायुधे दिव्यै पाशांकुश परश्वधे आवाहयामि पूजार्थं रक्षार्थं च ममाकृतः इहागत्य गृहाणा त्वं पूजां क्रतुं च रक्ष मे। ओम मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये। अञ्जनीगर्भसम्भूतं कपीन्द्रं सचिवोत्तमं रामप्रियं नमस्तुभ्यं हनुमान् रक्ष सर्वदा। ओम ध्याये राजानुबाहुं धृतशरधनुषं भद्रपद्मासनस्थं पीतं वासोवसानं नवकमलदल स्पर्धिनेत्रं प्रसन्नं वामाङ्कारूढ सीतामुखकमल मीललोचनं नीरधावं नानालङ्कारदीप्तं दततमुरुजटामण्डलं रामचन्द्रम्। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवे वेदैः साङ्गपदाक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थित तत्कतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ओम वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ शान्तं पद्मासनस्थं शशधरमुकुटं पञ्चवक्त्रं त्रिनेत्रं शूलं वज्रं च खड्गं परशुमभयदं दक्षिणांगे वहन्तं नागपाशाङ्कगन्धां डमरुकसहितं अंकुशं वामभागे नानालङ्कारदीप्तं स्फटिकमणिनिभं पार्वतीशं नमामि। ॐ या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषजायापहा। ॐ लक्ष्मी क्षीरसमुद्रराजतनयां श्रीरङ्गधामेश्वरीं दासीभूतसमस्तदेववनितां लोकैकदीपान्कुरां श्रीमन्मण्डकटाक्षलब्धविभव ब्रह्मेन्द्र गंगाधरां तां त्रैलोक्यकुटुम्बिनीं सरसिजां वन्दे मुकुन्द प्रियाम्। ओम सीताराम पवनसुत हनुमान राधे कृष्ण की जय। We now have Chalisa and bhajans.
पंची शोभित कर मधुरा नीलचलदन अरुणधार जनु बिंब फल नयन कमल वीरा पूर्ण इंद्रविंद मुख पीतांबर शुभ सा जय मनमोहन मंद छवि कृष्ण चंद्र महाराज जय यदुनंदन जय जगवंदन जय वसुदेव देवकी नंदन जय यशोदा सुत नंद दुलारे जय प्रभु भक्तन के जगतारे जय नट नागर नागन धैया कृष्ण कन्हैया तेरु चरैया पुनि नक पर प्रभु गे वरदारो आओ दीनन कष्ट निवारो पंछी मधुर आदर वंदित राजीव नयन विशाला मोर मुकुट वैजंती माला कुंडल श्रवण पीत पद आशे कटिकिन कनि काजन काजे नील जलज सुंदर तनु सोहे जबलकि सुर नर मुनि मन मोहे हस्त कजल कलक बुंदराले पाठ करे और धारी अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि फल लहे पदारथ चार सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय। गोपाला राधा लोला मुरली लोला नंद लाला मुरली लोला नंद लाला गोपाला राधा लोला मुरली लोला नंद लाला मुरली लोला नंद लाला। मुकुंद माधव जनार्दना मुकुंद माधव जनार्दना नंदलाला वृंदावन बाला नंदलाला वृंदावन बाला मुरली लोला नंदलाला मुरली लोला नंदलाला गोपाला राधा लोला मुरली लोला नंदलाला मुरली लोला नंदलाला। केशव माधव जनार्दना केशव माधव जनार्दना वनमाला वृंदावन भाला वनमाला वृंदावन भाला मुरली लोला नंदलाला मुरली लोला नंदलाला गोपाला राधा लोला मुरली लोला नंदलाला मुरली लोला नंदलाला मुरली लोला नंदलाला। ओम सीताराम पवन सुत हनुमान राधे कृष्ण की जय।
जय श्री कृष्ण, जय राधे गोविंद। गीता पाठ तीसरा अध्याय, चैप्टर नंबर 3 और श्लोक की संख्या 32, verse number 32 of the third chapter is what we are going to recite today and describe. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Yatve abhyasuyanto na anutishtanti me matam sarvagyana vimudham stan vidhi nasthana chetasa. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Let us all recite this verse together. Ye tve tad abhyasuyanto na anutishtanti me matam sarvagyana vimudham stan vidhi nasthana chetasah. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Radhe Radhe. So in this particular verse, Bhagwan is saying to Arjuna, Ya tve etad. those people, Vyasuyantaha, who mock me, who ridicule me, who belittle me, or do not understand that I am the Supreme Being. Me matam, that which I am teaching, that knowledge which I am giving to you, and they don't want to follow this knowledge, Sarvagyana, all their knowledge, Vimudhan Sthan, they are actually foolish. Vidhi, please know, Nashtan Chetasaha, their consciousness is lost. Their knowledge or their idea and understanding is tainted. If I can actually say that mildly, this is what Bhagwan is saying. These people are fools. Now let us try to understand firstly, why would somebody want to belittle Bhagwan? Why will somebody want to find fault with what he is saying? Why would somebody want to disregard what he is saying? If we look around us, there are many, many people who are not heeding this advice. They want to perhaps be like the ostrich that has its head buried in the sand. What is the ostrich trying to do? It is trying to block out and not focus on what it cannot see when the head is in the sand. But whatever it is that is causing discomfort to this ostrich does not go away because the head is in the sand. Now, the same thing applies to the knowledge which is flowing from Bhagwan. In this Gita, Bhagwan is very concise in the way he presents information. He's impartial in the way he presents the information. He says the facts like they are. He's not emotional about it. He doesn't say to Arjuna, because you are my friend, you don't have to follow this. Or because you are my friend, you don't have to heed this advice that I'm giving you. Or he doesn't say this knowledge is very difficult to grasp, don't worry about it. You see, the goal of studying Bhagavad Gita is to reach a very high standard of level of existence. And nothing that is of a high standard can come easily. So now let's come back to these people that Bhagwan is describing as Abhyasuyanto. These people, there are many reasons why they may feel like this. One is envy. See, some people, if they cannot be in charge, that is a problem for them. Anything where they are not in charge, they will run it down. They don't want to be part of a team. They always want to be a leader. And therefore, when they see Bhagwan Sri Krishna giving this information, they may see him as inferior, seeing him as an enemy. Okay? And then another reason is because they have their own whims and fancies about what is true knowledge. And they don't want to consider what Bhagwan is saying. So all of us perceive things in this world in different ways. But when we listen to each other, when we listen to the views of others, very often we realize that there's more than one way to understand something. There's more than one way in which we could actually do something. And therefore, Sanatan Dharma has always promoted this idea of free thinking. Let knowledge flow to us. After analyzing and assessing all this knowledge, we will then know what is the truth. But if we constantly block out the ideas of others, we don't want to consider it, how will we ever find the truth? Then, of course, Bhagwan says that perhaps, not Bhagwan says, in this commentary that I am reading, the writer says that it is possible that some people think that Bhagwan is saying all of these things so that all the people start following him, start paying homage to him. But that is not the purpose. God wants us to assimilate all this knowledge so we can make the right decisions and decide for ourselves which is the correct path. When we have this knowledge, we will realize that Bhagwan is being totally unselfish. He is not giving us this knowledge simply because he wants all of us to follow him and praise him. He's giving us this knowledge because we need this knowledge. We need this knowledge, and all of us who want to reach him, we have to accept this knowledge. So while it is good to ask questions, we cannot maintain our ego status and simply ask questions to see what kind of knowledge levels the next person has. We must ask questions sincerely so that we can get the right understanding and make the correct kinds of decisions. Further, Bhagwan is, what is he saying in these verses? He's saying that we need to release ourselves from bondage. And how do we do this? By surrendering our actions unto him. In other words, we are not taking the fruits of what we are doing. And some people feel, I'm going to do all of this hard work, but I must say it is due to Krishna, it is due to Bhagwan. So these people, according to Bhagwan, he says, Mudha Chetasam. They are foolish. Why? They are still thinking that all that they are doing is only because of their hard work and their ability. Elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says to us, I am the ability that is found in all men. So while I may think it is my ability that is causing me or enabling me to do something, little do we realize that that very ability that we think we own is actually not ours. It has been placed within us by Bhagwan himself. And this foolish person, what does he say? He refuses to renounce possessions. So very often we don't agree with somebody because it doesn't suit what we are doing already in life. So somebody says, listen, you need to break off your desires. You need to end these desires. You need to break off your attachments and possessions. And because we don't like the idea of giving up our possessions, we don't like the idea of sharing glory with others, of giving credit to others. So what do we say? No, this information is not correct. I'm not going to follow this path. And Bhagwan says this kind of thinking, this kind of knowledge is not really knowledge. It is foolishness. The word that is used at achetasaha, chetaha can mean consciousness, awareness, and understanding. Achetasa means one who is of tamasic disposition. He thinks he knows it all, but he is seeing such a skewed view that it is not good for his welfare. This person is full of evil impulses, full of ego, and only wants the credit for everything that he does and sees around him. And Bhagwan says this achetasa causes this delusion. Sarva jnana vimudhastan. All kinds of knowledge, whatever is coming, is being misinterpreted. So the person may be reading the Bhagavad Gita, but because of his mindset, he's interpreting it in his own way. And what is happening? His jnana is becoming tainted. It is no longer jnana, it becomes ajnana. Another word for ajnana is ignorance, tamasic bhav. And they start to entertain the wrong notions. So even today we see people, when they are doing something that is totally incorrect, the easiest way to deflect focus from their actions is to blame somebody else for something they are not actually doing. We see this very, very often, and it has become an extremely powerful tool in politics. You see, in politics, what do people do? When focus is on you, just accuse somebody else. The person who's doing their job and has made it public knowledge that somebody is doing something wrong, all you do is accuse that person. Accuse that person, and what happens? Everybody starts looking at that person and forgets about your wrong actions. Now, this person that Bhagwan is talking about here is doing the same thing. Rather than understanding what his weaknesses are and bringing about change, he's accusing Bhagwan. He's refusing to accept what the Lord is saying. And what does he do? he's mocking this knowledge. So people say, you want us to give up our possessions, you want us to surrender to God, but look at what is making the world go round. It is money. And therefore, do not ask us to stop accumulating wealth, because wealth will bring us happiness. Such a person is not understanding fully what Bhagavad Gita is saying, what Bhagwan is saying, that the wealth will only bring you temporary happiness. It will not allow you to evolve spiritually. And a person that is fixated in this way, because they are steeped in the tamasic bhav, the mode of ignorance, Bhagwan says elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita that these people who pass on from this world with this bhav, tamasic bhav, what happens? In doing so, they also discard the human body for many, many, many births. They then take birth in lower life forms like animals, birds, bees, etc., after going through to the hellish regions. So tamasic bhav, according to this verse, also means one who is acquiring knowledge but is tainting it with his own ego. Therefore, in many places in Bhagavad Gita, you will see that it says, when Bhagwan is speaking, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. For me, this is very, very important to see this at various points. Arjuna will ask a question, and when Bhagwan speaks, it says Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. And I think that it is very, very pertinent, because the person who is reading this must then accept that the person that is speaking is the Supreme Lord. And if the Supreme Lord is speaking, then that is the best kind of knowledge. That is the best kind of teachings that we can find in this world. And it would therefore then need a certain amount of surrender, acceptance that this is Sri Krishna speaking. This knowledge is best for me. Let me not argue about it, but rather consider this knowledge and see if I can bring about positive change in my life. Jai Shri Krishna. We'll now have Ramayan.
Ramayan part, Balkand Doha 158, Bhupati Trishita Bilokite. Jai Sumirat Siddhi Hoy Sitaram Gananayak Karibar Badana Karau Anugrah Soy Sitaram Bodhirasi Subhagun Sadana Mukha Hoy Vachal Sitaram Panguchare Giri Baragahana Jasu Kripa Sudayal Sitaram Drabha Sakala Kalimala Dahana Neel Saroru Sham Sitaram Taruna Aruna Bari Janayana Karau Somama Uradham Sitaram Sada Chir Sagar Sayana Kunda Indu Samadeh Sitaram Umara Man Karuna Ayana Jahidin Paraneh Sitaram Karau Kripa Mardana Mayana Vandau Guru Padakanj Sitaram Kripa Sindhu Nara Rupa Hari Maha Mohatama Punja Sitaram Jasu Vachanara Vikara Nikara Siyavar Ramachandra Ki Jai Pavan Sutta Hanuman Ki Jai Umapati Mahadev Ki Jai Katha Arambha Hota Hai Sunahu Veera Hanuman Rama Sunahu Veera Hanuman आसन को प्रभु आइए सिया सखा सहित भगवान सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय भूपति त्रिषित बिलोकित ही सरबरु दीन दिखाई मज्जन पान समेत हय कीन्ह नृपति हर्षाई सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय गई श्रम सकल सुखी नृप भयऊ, निज आश्रम तापस ले गयऊ। आसन दीन अस्तर अभिजानी, पुनि तापस बोले मृदुबानी। को तुम कस बन फिरहु अकेले, सुंदर जुबा जीव पर हेले। चक्रवर्ती के लक्षण तोरे, देखत दया लागी अति मोरे। नाम प्रताप भानु अवनीसा, तासु सचिव मैं सुनहु मुनीसा। फिरत अहेरे फरे भुलाई, बड़े भाग देखे पद आई। हम कह दुर्लभ दरस तुम्हारा, जानत हो कछु भल हो निहारा। कह मुनि तात भयउ अंधियारा, जो जन सत्तरि नगरु तुम्हारा। निशा घोर गंभीर बना, पंथन सुनहु सुजान रामा। पंथन सुनहु सुजान, बसहु आजु अस जानी तुम। जायहु होत निबिहान सियावर, रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। तुलसी जसी भवतव्यता, तैसी मिलई सहाई। आपुनु आवई ताहि पही, ताहि तहा ले जाई। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। तो राजा प्रताप भानु जंगल में शिकार खेलते खेलते पाखंड मुनि के पाखंड आश्रम में आ पहुंचा, और यहां थके हुए, प्यासे हुए, भूखे हुए मुनि से बात की। तो मुनि ने तालाब बताया और कहा कि जाकर आराम करो। तो राजा वहां घोड़ा सहित तालाब में गए, जालपान किया। जालपान किया मीनिंग he refreshed himself together with his horse. गए श्रम सकल, श्रम गए यानी कि जो थकावट था वो मिट गया। He refreshed himself. सकल सुखी नृप भयऊ, और नृप का मतलब है राजा, सुखी भयऊ, वो सुखी हो गया। He became very relaxed, pleased and calm because he had refreshed himself. Now he's not thirsty and tired anymore. निज आश्रम तापस ले गयो, तब तपस्वी उसे अपने आश्रम में ले गया। The tapasvi muni took the Raja back to his ashram. और आसन धीन अस्त रवि जान, और अस्त का मतलब है सूर्यास्त। सूर्यास्त जब सूरज डूब रहा है और अंधकार हो रहा है। सूर्यास्त in English is dusk, when the sun is setting. तो मुनि ने सूर्यास्त समय जानकर राजा को आसन दिया। He gave him a seat, told him to sit. पुनि तापस बोले हो, और फिर से बोला तपस्वी, मृदुबानी, very sweet words. So after he gave the king a seat, he spoke to the king very sweetly. को तुम कस बन फिरहु अकेले, कि तुम बन में, कस बन, in this घोर जंगल, in this dense forest, फिरहु अकेले, आप यहां अकेले क्यों फिर रहे हैं? Why are you wandering alone in this dense forest? सुंदर जुबा जीव पर हेले, आप तो सुंदर लगते हैं, युवा लगते हैं। You look like a very handsome youth. You seem to come from a very noble family. चक्रवर्ती के लक्षण तोरे, you have the signs of a चक्रवर्ती, of an emperor. तो ये मुनि के भक्ति की शक्ति नहीं है, श्रद्धा की शक्ति नहीं है, उनके कपट की शक्ति है, क्योंकि उसने प्रताप भानु को पहचान लिया। हमने गत सप्ताह पढ़े थे। So the Kapti Muni is telling Raja Pratap Bhanu that you look like an emperor. You look like you're from a noble family. Why are you alone in this forest? But that is not his power of discretion and observation. It is his cunning, because he has already recognized Pratap Bhanu, having been defeated by Pratap Bhanu in a battle previous. So, you have all the signs, all the indications of a noble person. देखत दया लागे अति मोरे, और मैं तुमको देखकर मुझे दया आ रहा है. I am seeing you and I am feeling very, very sorrowful. नाम प्रताप भानु अवनीसा. तब राजा ने बोला और कहा कि एक अवनीसा है, एक राजा है जिसका नाम है प्रताप भानु. तासु सचिव, उनके सचिव, उनके मंत्री, हिज मिनिस्टर, मैं सुनो मुनीसा. हे मुनि सुनिए, प्लीज लिसन टू मी. That King Pratap Bhanu, I am his mantri, I am his minister. Now again, last week we read why the king very, very cleverly did not identify himself to the Kapti Muni. फिरत अहेरे परेउ भुलाई, I have been, मैं शिकार खेल रहा था और रास्ता भूल गया, भटक गया. I was hunting in the forest and I got lost. बड़े भाग देखे पद आई, और मेरा सौभाग्य है कि मैंने आपको देखा. And it is my good fortune that I ended up at your ashram. हम कह दुर्लभ दरस तुम्हारा, आपके दर्शन मिलना बहुत दुर्लभ है. जानत हो कछु भल हो रहा, इससे जान पड़ता है कि कुछ भला होने वाला है. The fact that I have met you tells me that something good is going to happen. ये एक शुभ लक्षण है कि कुछ शुभ होने वाला है. कहा मुनि तात भयो अंधियारा. तब मुनि ने फिर से कहा कि हे तात, ओ बिलवड, ओ डियर वन, भयो अंधियारा, अंधियारा हो रहा है. इट इज गेटिंग डार्क. जो जन सप्तरी नगर तुम्हारा, और आपके नगर यहां से बहुत ही दूर है, 560 miles away. Your kingdom is very, very far away. निशा घोर, निशा का मतलब है रात, घोर very, very dark. गंभीर बना, and the forest बन, गंभीर is thick. पंथ न सुना हो सुजान, ऐसा समझकर तुम आज बसहु आज जो अस जानी तुम्ह जाए होत बिहार. Knowing that it is dark, the night is deep into the night and the forest is very, very dense. Why don't you stay over और जाए होत बिहान. बिहान का मतलब है आने वाला कल का ये सवेरे. Next morning you can leave. तुलसी जसी भगवत भवत्तव्यता, तैसी मिलई सुहाय सहाय, आपुनो आय आवई ताहि पही, ताहि तहा ले जाई. तुलसीदास जी कहते हैं, तो जहां भी तुलसीदास जी अपने दृष्टिकोण, अपने राय देते हैं, हमेशा कहते हैं कि तुलसी कहे. Wherever Tulsidas ji is giving his opinion or his perspective, he always says तुलसी कहे. तो यहां भी तुलसीदास कहते हैं कि जो हमारे भाग्य में लिखा है वो हमें मिलेगा. Whatever is written in our destiny, we will get. चाहे वो हमारे पास आए या हम उनके पास जाए. Whatever is written in our destiny, we will get. Either we will go to it or it will come to us. तो यहां प्रताप भानु के भाग्य में लिखा है और प्रताप भानु ने स्वयं अपने भाग्य पे चला आया है. So Pratap Bhanu has come himself to fulfill his destiny, whatever has been written in his destiny. Jai Shri Ram. कथा विसर्जन होता है, सुनो वीर हनुमान, आसन को प्रभु जाइए, सिया सखा सहित भगवान सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। We will have more bhajans.
रात शाम सपने में आई, रात शाम सपने में आई, कैया पी गए सारा रा 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 सारा रा 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 रा। रात शाम सपने में आई, रात शाम सपने में आई। जभी शाम मोही भैया पगरे, जभी शाम मोही भैया पगरे, भैया बोली कर रा 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 कर रा 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 रा। रात शाम सपने में आई, रात शाम सपने में आई। जभी शाम मोही चुनरी पकड़े, जभी शाम मोही चुनरी पकड़े, चुनरी उड़ गए पारा रा 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 पारा रा 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 रा। रात शाम सपने में आई, रात शाम सपने में आई। जभी शाम मोरी गागर पोरे, जभी शाम मोरी गागर पोरे, गागर पोरे जरा रा 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 जरा रा 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 रा। रात शाम सपने में आई, रात शाम सपने में आई। चंद्र सखी ब्रज बाल कृष्ण छवि, चंद्र सखी ब्रज बाल कृष्ण छवि, पग से तर गए तारा रा 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 तारा रा 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 रा। रात शाम सपने में आई, रात शाम सपने में आई, रात शाम सपने में आई, रात शाम सपने में आई। ओम सीताराम। पवन सुत हनुमान, राधे कृष्ण की जय। जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ, जय गिरिवर धारी, जय राधा माधव, कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे ओम सीताराम पवन सुता हनुमान राधे कृष्ण की जय। आरती कुंज बिहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज बिहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की गले में बैजंती माला बजावे मुरली मधुर माला श्रवण में कुंडल जलगाला नंद के आनंद नंद लाला गगन सम अंग कांति गाली राधिका चमक रही आली लदड़ में लाले वनमाली प्रमर सोहल कस्तूरी तिलक चंद्र सी झलक ललित छवि श्यामा प्यारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज बिहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की कनक में मोर मुकुट विलसे देवता दर्शन को तरसे गगन तो सुमन राशि बरसे बजे मिरचक मधुर मृदंग ग्वालिन के संग अतुल रति गोप कुमारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज बिहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की जहाँ से प्रकट भई गंगा कलुष कलिहारिणी श्री गंगा स्मरण से होत मोह गंगा फसे शिव जटा के बीच हरे अधिकी चरण छवि जीवन वारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज बिहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की चमकती उज्ज्वल ततरेणु बज रही वृंदावन वेणु चहु दिशि गोपी बाल देनो हसत मृद मंद चांदनी चंद कहत भव बंद तेर सुन दीन भिखारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज बिहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण कृष्ण मुरारी की, आरती कुंज बिहारी की, श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की।
ॐ कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। ॐ मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णु मङ्गलं गरुत्वध्वजा मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्ष मङ्गलाये तनोहरि। ॐ सर्वमङ्गलमङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्धसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बिके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तु ते, नारायणी नमोऽस्तु ते, नारायणी नमोऽस्तु ते। ॐ यानि कानि च पापानि जन्मान्तरकृतानि च तानि तानि विनश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे। ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमस्यो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ अपराधः सहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्मिशम्य दास्यो यमिति मामत्व क्षमस्व परमेश्वर। ॐ आवाहनं न जानामि विसर्जनं पूजा चैव न जानामि क्षमस्व परमेश्वर। ॐ अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्षस्व त्वं परमेश्वर। ओम बोलो गणेश भगवान की जय। ओम सीताराम की जय। ओम लक्ष्मण जी की जय। ओम पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। ओम राधे कृष्ण भगवान की जय। ओम शिव शंकर पार्वती माता की जय। ओम दुर्गा काली सरस्वती लक्ष्मी माता की जय। ओम सब पितृदेव की जय। ओम सनातन धर्म की जय। ओम श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की जय। ओम राधा माधव की जय। ओम नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव हर। जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे श्याम। जय सिया राम।
पंचेशो